The way to be ready is to live your life in such a way that you are pursuing God's will, pursuing God's agenda, and above all, living a life that's pleasing to Him. You don't prepare on the day of the final exam. You prepare day by day. The same thing with you, the same thing with me. We need to live our life as though this is going to be the last day of my life. Keep on obeying Him for the long term, and you will not regret. And most important, you ask yourself, are you pursuing God's kingdom? Or are you pursuing your own kingdom? Are you always thinking of what God wants you to do versus what you want to do?
Okay, Angelo, good afternoon. I am busy at the moment with a series, an investigation about the end times. And I've been talking about the importance of the foundation. And I cannot help but to think about the foundation phase at school. Why is it important that we have to have foundation phase at school? Why can't we just start attending school at grade 7? Why do we have to start all the way down? What is the importance of that?
Uh, the foundation phase is you have to start like from grade R to get higher, because if you don't know, because grade 7 is a different level where there's much harder work and you're leaving the foundation phase of primary school. That's the end of the primary school. And the other grades below grade 7 are just like, say grade 5 and grade 6 are to prepare you for grade 7, and grade 5, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6 are to prepare you for grade 7, and grade 1 and 2 are to prepare for grade 3, and then it goes onwards and just to get you higher. And the more you go, you learn more things, and then as soon as you reach high school, that's where you're getting prepared to go to a new phase where you're gonna have to learn more. And it's basically in high school you're learning on, say if you want to go to a technical.
Okay, let me keep you there.
Yeah.
So what has foundation phase done for you? For those that don't know, what is foundation phase? Where does it start and where does it end?
Foundation phase, it starts at grade R.
Good.
And it ends at grade 3. And yeah, it just takes you from one end to another end.
And so what are some of the things that you learned in foundation phase that are still helping you up to today?
In maths, there's a saying called nothing in maths stands alone. So it means that, say if your maths teacher asks you this question, it has the same answer to a different question. So every question is linked together. So that's one of the things that helped me. And in technology, it just keeps going and going. So they use the foundation phase to make you understand, like this here is the same, is linked to that. So you're learning more and more.
So in other words, can we agree that without the foundation phase, you where you are now, you would be struggling so much than having gone through foundation phase?
Yeah.
Okay. So after the break, I've got Tim and Brazil here next to me. They are still in their foundation phase. They are going to show us some of the things that we take them for granted in our adulthood, in our teenagehood, that they are currently doing in foundation phase. And without these things, you can't go anywhere in education. So thank you very much. Okay, I've got Krino here and a team. These guys are very, very smart guys. They're in foundation phase as we speak. And Angelo just gave us a very, very powerful understanding of the role that foundation phase has played in his life. That he is now in grade 7, but without the foundation phase of grade R, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, he wouldn't be where he is now. But now we have these great guys here with me. They are in the foundation phase. They are building their foundation. So, team, what grade are you?
Grade 2.
Grade 2. Krino, what grade are you in?
Grade 3.
Wow, man, this is a perfect match. So, team, what are some of the things that you are currently learning in grade 2?
I'm learning more of mathematics and life skills, but more of lives of soil,
Wow.
different kinds of soil.
Wow. Do you mind sharing some of those with us? Okay.
Yes. There are 4 types of soil: loam soil, clay soil, sand soil, and there is a dark brown soil.
Wow. Just hold it there while you are still thinking about some other things. Thank you for giving us those 4 types of soil. Let's go to Krino quickly. Krino, what are some of the things you're learning at the moment in your grade? Remember, you are in grade 3. You are in the last phase of the foundation phase. What are some of the things that you enjoy learning in grade 3?
I enjoy learning English, but maths, I don't enjoy doing that.
What do you enjoy about English?
Because it's English, it's not hard.
Wow.
Maths,
What did you learn in English? To make sentences, to say words. Give me an example of some letters that you learned.
I learned A, B, and C. And all that.
Okay. And how do you say them in foundation phase? Wow, that's what I was looking for. So those are the things that actually teach you how to pronounce words. So team, going back to you, sir, what else have you enjoyed the most in foundation phase?
Mathematics.
Okay. Do you want to take me through some of the things that you learned in mathematics that you never knew before?
Money sums and punctuations and stuff.
Wow. Guys, I am amazed. These are the future leaders. They're currently in foundation phase. This foundation is shaping what they're going to become. Without the foundation of their education, nothing is going to happen in the future. So, guys, well done for being strong. Obviously, for Krino, well done. You are finishing your foundation phase this year, and team, next year you're gonna be finishing off the foundation phase. In other words, after you build this foundation, everything else that you're going to build in the future is going to be based on what you're learning in foundation phase. So thank you very much, guys, for taking your time. Thank you. Have a good evening. Welcome to our episode number 2. Mr. Max, I had a very, very good time with you in our previous episode. And today we again had a fantastic time with the gentlemen. The two gentlemen are actually in the foundation phase. And the other gentleman actually comes all the way from Namibia. He is doing his great service. And he said in his words that he actually could not be where he is if it wasn't for the foundation phase. So I could not help but to think that what we discussed and went into detail about last week in terms of the construction business that you're in and the amount of problems that you're solving, you must surely be standing on that kind of foundation. Will I be right?
Exactly, yeah, that's absolutely. Because when I look at it, most of the stuff that I'm currently using in my knowledge today, they are really linked on what I learned when I started my education phases. There are things like I learned to write when I was in grade R. Things I learned how to draw and how to understand pictures and all that from the young age. And linking to that, I learned how the counting was, the mathematics, the calculation, and all that. Those are the basic stuff which helped me stand and understand this engineering business that I'm currently working in today.
The stuff that we take for granted.
That's right.
And the funny thing about it is that when we were in foundation phase, we felt like it was boring. The teachers are taking too long. This stuff are easy to. But now when you look back, as you're saying, you learned to write. If it wasn't for the foundation phase, you wouldn't know how to write. You wouldn't even be doing the engineering, the heavy engineering that you're doing. So that is very interesting because when you're looking at the whole thing, is that when you're building the foundation, it looks mundane. It looks like you're not going anywhere. It looks like you're wasting your time. But now looking back and looking at your business, how successful it has been, how wonderful things you guys are doing with all these constructions, business buildings and things like that, and seeing the importance of the foundation that you're standing on. So that's very fantastic. So what are some of the things that you remember in foundation phase that you still apply even today?
The counting. I remember very well the counting, and it was helpful. When we started, it was a bit of struggle.
Yeah.
Just counting from 1 to 10. I will go from 1 to 7, then I go back and I reverse. And seeing the counting, which has built up my mathematics skills, and also knowing the drawing.
Yeah.
In grade R, when we go there, and the person who was taking care of us was giving us some things to draw and to color, and it was just funny. And looking at that, it was, this is wasting of time. And we will draw something that do not have a sense, and it just looked funny and all that. But at the end of the day, I did not know that I was prepared to read plans and to understand plans, to describe plans and to conceive plans and all that. So those are stuff that I'm really grateful of. We don't have to take
what about the ruler? I remember myself, trying to draw cars with rulers. Cars that have all kinds of shapes. But now, here in construction, it's almost impossible to do anything without measurement.
Exactly, that's true. Yeah, that's true. When we were thinking about it, we were just thinking, where am I gonna go with the ruler system? And when we were training, and I'm just gonna make money and move on in life.
Yeah.
But not knowing that we're going to need this stuff, the levels, the rulers, the calculation, the calculator, all this small measurement, very important.
Wow.
Very, very important.
Something you mentioned in our previous episode, fantastic statement you made about the foundation, that this is something that is not seen to everybody.
That's right.
This is something that is not seen, but is there, and it is always there. It must always be there. It has to be there because without it, the structure cannot stand.
That's right.
And so I'm thinking myself here. Here you are, you're giving an example of the things that you can still remember after many, many years. And without even thinking about it, that's actually the foundation.
Yes.
That is there, that when you're doing all these things automatically, it's not just because you're smart, it's because there is a foundation that is unseen.
That's right.
That you are operating from. Is there anything that you want to share with us? That's fascinating to me.
Let me encourage someone. You're a young person. You are in grade 3, you are in primary school. You do not take of granted everything that you learn. Every single thing that you learn is very important. We will apply it one way or another in the future, in a long run. And do not neglect anything in your foundation stage when you're learning. Learn everything in deepest level that you can, because it's going to help you. Remember, today, if someone can speak fluently, it's dependent on how they started in the beginning.
Right.
If somebody can have a good understanding, it's how they started in the beginning, because they process the understanding from the young age correctly.
Right. So I'm reading in this series of the end times, and because this somehow has to end with a lesson for the end time, because we're really living in that time where the foundation for believers is very crucial. So here's Jesus. He is saying, he's speaking to these disciples and other guys there, and he said, guys, look. And they look, and he says to them, whatever you see here, it is all going to be destroyed one day. It is all going to be gone. Jesus was talking about the big temples, the big buildings, the strong buildings. But I could not for one moment help to think that all the structures are going to be gone, even the structure that we're in right now. But there is one thing that is going to remain, and you guessed it right, is the foundation.
That's right.
Is the foundation. Last week there was a flood happening in Germany. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. So many buildings were very affected. Many buildings destroyed. Like the other day we were talking about the flood in Miami, the convent in Miami.
Yes.
It was destroyed. But if you go and check all the pictures and begin to do a back study,
yes,
the complex is gone.
That's right.
But you guessed it right. The foundation
Is there.
is there.
Exactly, yeah.
The foundation is
there. That's right.
Right. So we're in the end times. We're living in the last days, and all the structures are falling apart. All the structures that we know are falling apart. But one thing that is going to help us to keep going and remain strong is the foundation that we built, the foundation that we're building right now. Just like with the education, we started with Angel. We started with the young man who are currently in foundation phase, and now here is a man who is in construction, and all of them is linked. It's linking back to the foundation. That the foundation is that thing that we need to pay attention to. So catch us in the next episode, because we've got much more to come. So thank you very much, Uncle Max. Thank you very much, Mr. Max. Really appreciate your insight all the time.
Always be a pleasure.